All right, welcome back to Bayou Time. We're talking parade routes again. And joining us is the Sheriff of Terrebonne Parish, Sheriff Tim Soignet. Congratulations, first year anniversary.
Thank you, Martin.
And you're still looking good, so
Hey,
obviously
we're getting there.
All right. All right, let's talk about, me and you have had several discussions, and I know you had with Keith and different hosts on here. Just had the parish president. Y'all were able to get together and work some different avenues out to where it helps law enforcement, because we know some things were getting in the way of doing different things. So let me give you the floor, but the bottom line is Mardi Gras is looking good.
Yes.
Okay.
Everything's looking good. Well, we met with all the float captains, the presidents of the Mardi Gras crews, and I mean, we obviously had our concerns, even when we approached looking at reversing the route at one point in time. I mean, I think we came to agreement we're going to start the parade a half hour early. Probably it's going to be more like about a half hour. There were some things that was happening during the parade that would stop and go. And look, some of my officers that are in the parade, they're not exempt. So we've already had a conversation with them. We're going to keep that parade moving and try to minimize gaps. And I think, like you said earlier, sometimes the trucks want to stop with the floats, and we're just going to try to keep the parade moving. Usually around the Hollywood Bridge, we have usually a brief, I'll call it a security halt, if you would. See where the back of the parade is. We're up in the front, try to keep everything tight when we move downtown, and we're going to, I think, restrict the toasting to about 20 minutes. And I think if we do that, we'll keep a pretty good tight parade, but more importantly, just keeping the parade moving. And like I said before, when the parade stops, that's when a lot of things happen. And what we're trying to do is just try to make it smooth to the areas where we want it to stop, so we can kind of regroup.
Yeah. And I was talking to the parish president a little while ago, and he wants to keep the tradition downtown, but we started chuckling when 20 minutes is a long time. So it may mean you can only take 50 pictures instead of 300 pictures.
Yeah.
So, he said you can't get your third cousin removed or whatever. Keep it tight, keep it moving, and keep it ready to go.
And I think that's what it is. At 20 minutes is a lot of time. I mean, we're going to have our guys, even our guys, going to give them about a 5-minute warning. Like, look, you've been here 15 minutes. And, I think maybe they'll be pre-planning some photos that they want to take before the parades, which they'll have plenty of time to do that. That way they can keep the ceremonial stuff where it belongs and make a reasonable amount of time so we can keep that parade moving.
And I want to ask you this, because in fairness to you in law enforcement, I rode for years. I rode in multiple parades. We do take it for granted. When you get on that float and you caught up in the emotion and everything, and you see all these people, we obviously and absolutely see the law enforcement on the ground working hard. But every little tractor stop, like you said, every little somebody getting out the convertible and spending a little extra time on the side of the street puts a different scenario in the way y'all handle law enforcement, doesn't it?
Well, it does. And what people don't realize is, like, when the parade starts to move and you got floats moving, you got people on the side of the road. When there's a lull in the action, if you would, the road starts filling up again. The officer's got to clear it all over again for the next float, and it's a constant thing. Whereas if you kind of keep the parade tight and reasonable where it's moving, people are more interested, okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? But when they look up and they ain't afloat, there's nothing coming, then all of a sudden they go back to, and then the officer's got to clear it again, which it becomes a safety issue.
And doesn't it take less? I mean, you've worked many parades in your day. But when a float stops, isn't it more chance for someone on that float to agitate someone in the crowd? When it's moving, it's less of a chance, isn't it?
Well, as you know, when a float stops, they're not supposed to throw anything. And when a parade moves, they can continue to throw. I mean, that was even on the ordinance. So yeah, I mean, hey, you throw me something. And I think sometimes even the float riders, or maybe from some patrons, are getting a little bit pushed a little bit, throw something, and when they know they're not supposed to during that time, it's just best to keep the parade moving. And I think it's best for the float riders. I think it's best for the community to enjoy the parade.
With about 2 minutes left on this segment, you've been able to learn a lot. The parish president learned a lot. We're always learning, and so many people have invested in Mardi Gras. And not to say another idea wouldn't be excellent, but at the end of the day, you listen, the parish president listened. got a pretty good plan.
Well, we
moving
came up
forward.
with a reasonable solution, and, you know, with, speaking to some council members, you know, living abroad in my area, you know, some of those patrons, they like the idea of getting a parade early, and I don't blame them.
Right.
And, but we were just trying to figure out a safer, I think the proposal of reversing the route made everybody think, okay, what can we do? And I even agreed. I said, you know, we can do a little bit better continuing the route, but I think it made everybody come to the table so we can come up with a reasonable solution. At the end of the day, we just want a safe parade. We want the people in the Mardi Gras cruise to have a safe ride, and when a community enjoy the parade and have a safe parade for them to enjoy.
Yeah, and real quick, like, also, be nice to get back on regular track, bring people into Terrebonne Parish, and let them see what kind of great parish we have.
Well, we got a great parish, and we probably want to have one of the best Mardi Gras. I mean, compared to New Orleans, I know we have a very good Mardi Gras, and we have good people here.
And I think it's going to be big.
I think we're going to have a big one.
So good luck, and thank
you.
you for all you do. We
Thank you,
appreciate it.
sir.
All right, we're going to take a break. More segments with the sheriff on different things in his first year anniversary as being sheriff here in Terrebonne Parish. And we'll take a break here. We'll come back right outside the break. We'll have more on Bayou Time, and you can always catch our segments on Facebook. Now we're downloading them to YouTube, so there you have it. Segments getting out in a lot of different ways here on Bayou Time. We appreciate you joining us. We'll be back.